basis. You are spending time with the person in hope of finding a committed relationship. Next, what we got? Types of dating in the modern age. Really, like our parents will say, they say, how do this? I'm trying to just. They say the way we behave now in dating, that was not how they, and I really don't want to know. Like, I really don't want to be saying about the old time dating, about talking about types of dating in the modern. Funny how you just find somebody a very young age. Well, I started dating at a very young age too. So did you get, like, you just find someone and say, "Is my boyfriend?" and you're like, really? That kind of face that you give. Speaking on types of dating in modern age, in this age of Tinder and online dating, pretty much all aspects of courting and the language used to describe it have evolved into what means beyond imagine. Like, it's so you can't even imagine to pass to generations, and I won't be going to that one. So that which used to be formal and predetermined has become so, go with the flow, carefree. In the Western world, going steady is steadily becoming a thing of the past. So the whole wide web has opened up communication to a point where relationships begin entirely over the internet, and couples doesn't even meet until they have begun dating. Back then in the old time, there was nothing like phone. There was nothing like. There's no how they communicate except through physical communications. So it's very hard to know nowadays. It's very hard to know nowadays what your friend think of, and a whole lot of things. So now I'll be speaking of the common types of dating that we have. First up, we have the fun dating. The goal here is to just enjoy yourself. That's why it's called fun dating. No commitment, no pressure, and no stress. This mutually beneficial dating exists at the root of every other type of dating, as the whole point of spending time with another person is for enjoyment. This is a pure and transparent enjoyment of a fellow human being without any rules or expectations, probably jealousy, a lot of things like that. So the two of you really are not worried about commitment or what the future holds. You are simply trying to get as much as you can out of your time together. Traditionally, young people are most often, portrayed as the young group that is most involved with casual dating with no string attached encounters. So, however, it is increasingly common to find middle-aged, elderly, seniors, or even young adults ditching the tradition. Next is the experimental dating. Experimental dating can actually go many different ways, but the main component of dating out of your comfort zone, being you just want to have your adventure, and this could mean finally dating that one person your parent doesn't approve, or maybe even someone who they might love. Similar to fun dating in that there are no long-term goals for this relationship, but instead goals for introspection and self-improvement. It could mean dating someone who is organized and responsible, or someone who is carefree and spontaneous. You can go for a cat lover, for example. You can go for a cat lover, or even someone who doesn't like chocolates. So this is not about you, but it's just about trying to build yourself and learning from that kind of dating. I don't know if you get. So this is about trying to find someone who you think will be a bad match, but rather someone who contracts your past lover in a way that makes you try new things and learn more. Since I'm a lot more to do experiments. So it's just in a way, you try to learn new things and learn more about who you are in a relationship. You are not really into that person. Dating for marriage. This is the type of dating you grew up hearing about. Yeah, the one we grew up hearing about. The one, the fairy tale, the novels, the celebrity romance, a whole lot of stories we heard while growing up. But then this age, get us me. So the ancient tradition of courtship was motivated and often closely tied to a major religion, and the couple are expected to talk over the phone or through letters until they decide to make things more serious with a meeting, just like the olden days, or sorry to say, some kind of religion that we have then. You can't go to, or like now, you've gone to the guy's house, or you've seen you guys have hooked up somewhere. It was not like before when you have to either through letter or in your pastor's house, or sorry to say, in your religion leader's house, or just it's just not like the usuals we're having nowadays or this present age. So it's just dating for marriage, dating for marriage. You guys are taking it to the next level. You want to born children. Last, I'll say, is extramarital dating. Unlike the all kind of dating styles, this kind of dating is far, like, it's so I don't know how to even discuss this or engage in it. And for real, nearly 20% of all divorces are filed because of adultery, and the number has really been growing in the past years, and yet people can't admit that spouse just isn't enough. This married that the number in total of married people, this means that the number in total of married people seeking extramarital connections, whether emotional or physical, is much higher than that studied has been found. So since most people are not open with information deemed this very, very sensitive, and it is very hard to tell exactly how prevalent it is in this modern world, but we know for sure it's happening at a pretty remarkable age. Just yesterday, you guys can imagine, I saw a post on Instagram that a lady in I can't remember the country, but a lady, she got divorced and she celebrated it just like when somebody's doing a bridal shower or a birthday. She wore this sash, she did a cake. The cake, what the words in the cake was I do. The second layer of the cake was I did, and the third layer was I'm done. Yeah, I did. So I do when that was in the marriage. That was when they were going into the marriage. I did was while in the marriage, and I'm done is when she's out of the marriage. It was celebrated on a sash. They wrote they wrote divorced and happy or something, but it just had to do with divorce. And I'm like, I just had to, sometimes comment areas are always the fun part of a post. Then I went to the comment section and people were like, you can't blame her, you can't do this, you can't do that because you don't know what she has been through in the relationship, blah blah blah, a whole lot of story coming. And that person was like, what is this what those religion people? The person was like, what's this rubbish? Hey God, come quickly, what is a whole lot of things like that. I'm like, oh wow. Really, I don't know if that was the first time I'm seeing something like that, but I really don't know if I should say it's a kind of bad idea or it's a good one. Fine, it's really always good to walk out of any abusive marriage or any abusive relationship, but then I really can't even say, and I pray it doesn't happen to any of us, and I really don't know exactly. The joy must have been 100% joy, was why she had to celebrate it that way, because I really don't know exactly why she celebrated being divorced. Really, I really can't say. So that's that on that. So a question came in: how long should dating last? According to relationship people and experts, it's socially acceptable. Just some people will get to the stage earlier, while some people, it will be very difficult for them to have a very long-lasting relationship. Purpose of dating, actually, one of the main purpose of dating is for just the two or more people to evaluate one another's suitability. Often, physical characteristics, personalities, financial status, and other aspects of this involve persons are judged, and as a result, feelings can be hurt and confidence shaken. Next week, actually, I'll be talking on how do I know if a guy fancies me? How do you know if a guy likes you? How do you do those signs? And that's for next week. Well, I'll be back on that. Lastly, I'll be talking about what is difference between relationship and dating. I'll be giving some few definitions and I'll be saying the differences. So it's just like dating versus relationship. Let's get. Before I'll be going on that, I would like us to go on a very, very, very short break. I'll be right back. I know you guys are really enjoying and you're learning from this. Please don't go away. Stay with us. I'll be back very, very soon. I'm still here. Welcome back to Hafak Online Radio. I remain your humble host, Dayo, and this is Dayos Hour on Hafak Online Radio. Like I said, I'll be speaking on dating versus relationship. I'll be saying some meanings and some differences. Although dating and relationship have some things in common, but they're actually not the same. And what I'll be saying now will just review what each means and what their differences are. Dating versus relationship. I really need us to really listen to this actually. So when two things share a lot in common, sometimes it's so hard for us to differentiate them, between them. So such is this case of this relationship versus dating issue. Almost everybody today seems to confuse dating with being in a relationship, because when you are in a relationship with someone, you often go out on dates with them. And again, both dating and relationship in some cases involve two people enjoying the company of each other and probably having sex. So similar activities also take place in both situations. Only a few people get to draw the line between them. But here is really a bombshell to some really relationship and dating issue. So being in a relationship and dating are not the same. There are lots of differences between them. One surely outlives the other. So if you think of a relationship as a universal set, dating is just a subject. Mathematician. So there are a lot of differences between them. So one surely you must have to just differentiate them, not to get them in wrong meanings. So in other words, all relationships involve dating, but not all dating leads to a relationship. Better to set the record straight by giving the precise definition of these two terms, and that is exactly what I'll be doing right now. What is dating? By way of definition, dating is the casual process by which you get to know a person or group of people which you may eventually have a romantic relationship with. It's a friendship kind of thing between you and the opposite sex you find attractive and you want to know more. So it involves engaging in a number of mutual activities such as seeing a movie together, going for dinner, attending a seminar or conference together, or just simply taking a walk together. Here, there is no commitment, and it's clear to the two of you. You're not even sure of what your feelings to the other are, and as such, no deep commitment. So if the person you go out with on a date with today sees you with another person tomorrow, he or she is not going or is not supposed to raise an eyebrow because you haven't made any commitment to each other yet. So it therefore goes that dating can take place between you and different people at a time. You are just having fun and enjoying yourself. So in some instances, this fun may not exclude enjoying sex actually. And no, that is one level of degree of closeness, and it isn't a relationship yet. The transition from dating to being in a relationship takes effect when your fun and every other things you both do and enjoy together become exclusive, and you begin to take offense when those things are shared with multiple people. You're in a relationship with someone when you both have agreed to it, and the idea of a casual relationship does not exist. No, that is not obtainable when you guys are dating. Look at now, you now refer to each other as either boyfriend and girlfriend, and in fact, where a smooth transition is taking place, you may as well consider each other as what future partners. That is being in a relationship. Stated differently, being in a relationship with someone would mean you are in a committed romantic association with him or her. And note, a true and healthy relationship is usually monogamous. You don't go into it with multitude of people or other people. what does dating and relationship actually have in common? Dating itself is a type of relationship with a lower level of commitment, like I mentioned earlier, than that of people in a full-fledged relationship. It is a stage that, like the very first stage of getting to know someone, which eventually may or may not lead to a relationship. The two concepts share some similarities, which perhaps is the reason behind many of